Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, definitely hit that subscribe button. So in this video, we're going to be previewing the T20 the match between the West Indies and New Zealand in the T20 World Cup. This will be a clash of the Titans in the West Indies group. New Zealand, are a big team. West Indies, we are also a big team, and there's a lot at stake in this match. Especially for New Zealand. If they lose this match, then it would potentially mean that they are eliminated from contention for the Super 8. So there will be a lot on the line for this match. So we're going to be previewing the match, sharing a few things about both teams, and then also giving you the potential starting lineup for the West Indies as well. And the question for you, the viewers, as far as it relates to the West Indies team, would you make any changes to the West Indies team? So definitely let me know in the comment section if you would make any changes to the West Indies team. And also, would you make any changes to the batting lineup of the West Indies team? So those are the questions that I want you to answer in the comment section. But definitely just stick around and to the end of the video, and I will also give you my answer as it relates to those questions as well, right? So, like I mentioned, there's a lot at stake for the New Zealand team in this match. If they lose this match, especially after losing their first match against Afghanistan, and by as big a margin as they did, if they lose this match against West Indies, it would mean that the West Indies are on 3 wins, and New Zealand could only get to 2 wins, right? And Afghanistan, they have already won 2 matches, and they have 2 matches remaining, one of which is against Papua New Guinea, which is one of the weaker opponents in the group. So we all expect Afghanistan to win that match. So if New Zealand doesn't win this match, then they're out of the T20 World Cup pretty much, right? Barring a surprising result between Afghanistan and Papua New Guinea. So they will be coming out hungry, especially after losing the match against Afghanistan the way they did. They'll definitely want to bounce back strong in this match against West Indies. So I do expect them to make changes to their team. As to how much, I don't know. But considering the fact that they're playing against the West Indies, I do expect them to bring in Saudi, which is the leg spin bowler. As you know, sometimes the West Indies struggle against spinners, and Saudi he has had success against the West Indies in the past. So I do expect them to bring him in to their lineup. Whether that means dropping one of their pacers or dropping one of their all-rounders and having Saudi as a specialist spinner in the team. We have to wait and see. But I do expect Saudi to come into the team for New Zealand and pose a challenge to the West Indies. Whether or not it will work for New Zealand, we have to wait and see. But those are the changes that's at least one change that I expect the New Zealand team to make, right? As it relates to the West Indies team now, coming off that, dominating victory against Uganda, the team will definitely be coming into this match with a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief, and the playing in Trinidad. So the series now moves to Trinidad, or the group now moves to Trinidad. So the first few matches were in Guyana. Now the team will be playing in Trinidad. So the Trinidadian crowd being behind this team as well will definitely give them an extra boost in this match. Yeah, and you couple that with the fact that the team is playing confident, not just from the matches that they have won in the World Cup, but playing against stronger opponents in Australia and South Africa prior to the start of the World Cup. So this team have a lot of confidence, that they can perform against the best teams in the world. And we've seen it and in those matches, and now this big match against New Zealand, hopefully they can do the same as well. So as it relates to the question that I asked earlier, as far as the changes to the team, the batting lineup, what I've noticed about the batting lineup, about the West Indies batting, so obviously Roston Chase is in the team as a freelancer pretty much as it relates to batting. Obviously he bowls as an all-rounder, But when it comes to his batting position, he's flexible. Sometimes he bats at number 4, or sometimes he drops down the order and doesn't get an opportunity to bat, depending on the flow of the game, right? So, but what I've noticed and what I think the strategy is from Darren Sammy. So, Nicholas Pooran batting at 3. Whenever Nicholas Pooran gets out, because they did it in the Australia warm-up match as well. Nicholas Pooran, he did make 75 in that match, but he was the one that got out, and Ravman Powell came in, right? And in the 2 matches against Papua New Guinea and Uganda, Nicholas Pooran got out again, and Ravman Powell came in at 4. What I think will happen if Nicholas Pooran stays there, so if Nicholas Pooran doesn't get out, or so if Nicholas Pooran isn't the second wicket that falls, Roston Chase will come in and bat at 4. And the reason being, Roston Chase is he can be a consolidator, right? And a very good strike rotator. He does hit boundaries as well in the latter stages of his innings, but at the beginning of his innings, he'll be expected to consolidate the innings, rotate the strike, give it to the power hitter. So Nicholas Pooran being at the crease would mean that Nicholas Pooran is the power hitter out in the middle at the time, and Roston Chase is there to rotate the strike and give Nicholas Pooran as much of the strike as possible. Right, Ravman Powell, on the other hand, he is a similar batsman to Nicholas Pooran as it relates to boundary hitting. Ravman Powell is also good at rotating the strike, right? So when Nicholas Pooran gets out, Darren Sammy also wants another power hitter to be at the crease, along with one of the openers, right? So, which is the reason why Ravman Powell comes in and bat at 4, in those situations, right? And also depending on how late the second wicket falls as well, right? So there are a few factors that I think is that I think decides whether or not Ravman Powell or Roston Chase bats at 4, right? And so far, the circumstances have been in favor of Ravman Powell, seeing that Nicholas Pooran, he's been the second wicket to fall in both the matches against Uganda and Papua New Guinea, and also in that warm-up match against Australia. So I think that's the reasoning behind why Ravman Powell is batting at 4 instead of Roston Chase. But Roston Chase will bat at 4 if Nicholas Pooran is still at the crease when the second wicket falls. And batting Roston Chase at 4 might also might help with the dot ball issue that we are having, right? So not only would it mean that both of the openers are out, which I did in a previous video, I did mention that the openers and Nicholas Pooran are the ones that have contributed mostly to the dot balls that we have consumed. So if both openers are out, Roston Chase will come in at 4 and be able to rotate the strike better than the openers, I would say, and also give Nicholas Pooran the strike as well. So we have to wait and see. So as it relates to now the starting lineup for the team, the team needs to improve in certain areas as far as strike rotation, but nevertheless, the team, they have won the matches so far. So it will be hard to change a winning team, right? So for me personally, I would go with the same lineup. So it's the same starting level. So King, Charles, Pooran, Chase, Powell, Rutherford, Russell, Shepherd, Hussein, Motie, and Shamar Joseph. So that's the starting lineup I would still go with. So it's an unchanged team, Reason being, they have that team, they have momentum, right? No matter how satisfied we as fans are at how they won the matches, especially the first match, the fact of the matter remains is that they won the match, right? So why change a winning team? So I would go with the same starting lineup, where I would make the change though, and it kind of goes back to what I explained earlier, is the batting lineup, the batting order, right? So considering the fact that Pooran, King, and Charles, they have been the ones to consume most of the dot balls. So I might consider batting a Roston Chase at even a number 3 and having Pooran bat at 4. Just for that reason. Again, but moving Pooran from number 3 might not be the best thing as well. So Pooran can still bat at number 3 and a Roston Chase bat at number 4. But again, it depends on the game situation and the match situation. You know, when they lose the wickets and which batsman gets out. So those are the factors that determine where Roston Chase bats. Even though in the first match he had the highest strike rate, right? So he scored 42 from 27 in the first match, which just goes to show that he can up the strike rate when needed. And it might actually be a good thing to have him bat early in this match against New Zealand. If they make the changes that I think they will make. I think they will bring Saudi in to their lineup, like I said earlier. And Roston Chase is very adept at playing spinners. More flexible than some of the other batsmen in the team, right? So for that reason, I definitely think Roston Chase should get an opportunity to bat. But it's 2020 cricket, right? It's fluid. It requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of making a lot of quick changes on the go. So it just depends on the match situation. But like I said, the starting 11, I would go with the same starting lineup. The only thing I would do is make changes to the batting order to kind of combat that ball issue that we've been having in the matches so far, right? But definitely let me know what your thoughts are as it relates to whether you would go with the same starting lineup or whether you would change your batting order. But just to recap, this match, there are a lot of implications on this match. If West Indies win this match, it would mean New Zealand is eliminated from contention. Well, pretty much eliminated unless Papua New Guinea can surprise us and beat Afghanistan, right? But I'm sure none of us see that happening. So if West Indies wins this match, New Zealand will more than likely be eliminated from Super 8 contention. And it would mean West Indies and Afghanistan are the teams that advance from the group. So there's a lot at stake in this match. So definitely, need the West Indies to come out and put on their best performance of the World Cup so far and beat New Zealand, so we can just continue in that rich vein of form that we've been in and continue building our confidence as we look to win this T20 World Cup here on home soil. But that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. Definitely share your thoughts in the comment section. And do remember to like the video, share the video as well, and definitely subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so as yet. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.